Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Best Couple podcast. You're here with me, Sureet and Steve VK. Okay, today, guys, we're going to be speaking about marriage because from our last podcast, a lot of you guys have been really interacting with us a lot behind scenes, whether it's through DMs or, emails and stuff, asking us questions about marriage as if we are, I know we've been married for 25 years, but we are still growing ourselves and that we're still learning so much about each other. And even this podcast itself, I'm so grateful that we're doing it because I feel like just this podcast alone, we get to talk about things that we don't really just sit down and talk about. We have so much time together in the evenings, but these podcasts bring out, so many different things that we haven't spoken about, probably wouldn't, like I said. And it's quite nice to sit there and get to know each other even more.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah,
But so it's like, it's not as if we know everything or we're experts.
I think you do get to a time where you do learn everything about each other, but if you continuously grow and evolve, then there's more learning and understanding to go with it.
Yeah, and that's how it's been with us. So the question was, like, a lot of people in this generation now want to be best friends with their partners, whereas before, your parents, whether it was even, uncles, aunts, it was more like survival mode for them, whether in the Indian community itself.
I think it's any community, to
do
be
you
honest.
think?
Yeah. I think it was, many times, it was just survival. Everyone will possibly say, this is what why I want to be married to a man, or why I want to be married to a woman, what she's going to do for me and what he's going to do for me, and how we're going to be able to survive, kind of thing,
But I see so many beautiful love stories of white couples, or...
You'll see that about Indian couples as well, if you really look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
But they had the friendship, that they were there, but I don't think I've seen...
I thought you watched that love story just recently.
Okay,
and those people in the
that's
70s.
recent.
Well,
that's just recently.
They're in the 70s.
But yeah, but I didn't know anything. I only saw only because I've watched that now that I've seen it.
But that's what I'm trying
to
say.
But I never saw that around us growing up. So to me, I know what I wanted was more like to be friends with, my partner.
But I just think that there is. It's just that there's not enough, and you don't get to hear about it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are looking for that their best friend now, like they can grow with. It's about everything. It's not just being a partner. It's about being emotionally there for each other, the support and encouragement. It's all of that, whereas before it would be, like you said, being a mom.
Yeah, like you said, it was just like more or less the survival thing. Being there, that's what was happening in the past, and then more or less you're having kids, and then your roles change to raising children together in some way or the other, and then again it's about who's working and who's not, what each other's roles and positions are, in that kind of sense, in the marriage sense kind of thing, and then that's it. And then obviously after that it's grandkids. It's just that was it, and then it continues.
It does
again and again and again.
Did you asked me that question a while back. We were just discussing about, did you ever think about marriage and what it would be like? And my answer to that was like, I did, but like that's just like I think every girl would have done back in the days. I don't know if it's like that now. I think things have changed so much. When I see our children and with their partners, they're already thinking of future, how from experience from ourselves and how we were with them, not with them, but with us, with how we were in ourselves and what they've seen. I see that they take away certain things. They're like, well, I'm going to make sure we have a better relationship, better communication, with our partners and stuff like that. So I feel like they are improving. They do see things that they want to improve on, whether they've seen it from their own parents into their own relationship and continue on. Whereas for me, growing up, I didn't see that side of it. Although I know I didn't have parents who had a great relationship, I didn't see that side of it. It was always just thinking in your head, like, it's going to be great anyway. We're going to have a great relationship.
So what did
and
you
that's
focus on?
What did I focus? I think for me, I focused more on, I wanted to be there for the kids. I wanted to make sure that I'm the best mom that I could ever possibly be, because maybe I just didn't get that from both of our parents. Like both of my parents, they were there. I'm not saying they didn't do a great job, but you just didn't have that communication. You couldn't open up. You couldn't talk to them. You couldn't talk to them about anything.
So what did you think the role was of a wife?
Of a wife.
Or what did you believe from either your mum or anyone else of what a wife does or what a husband does? Like from that then?
So, to me, it would have been just the same. What was drilled in my head was a wife is a wife. A wife is who looks after the children. She makes sure the house is clean, top to bottom. The husband's fed, happy. What's that?
So you don't feed the kids then?
Obviously, the husband's first, isn't it? Because he has to go out and earn the money, you know. So you make sure that he's well fed. So that's something I had to make sure I knew that was good at. See, like those things you look back at and you think, if I wasn't good at making roti, I'd get told off until I get it right. If I didn't do good in school, I wasn't told off. I wasn't like, oh, you know what, let's put her on an extra course or something. She needs to be improving in this side. It was always around, this isn't made right, or that doesn't look right, or even up to the point of like hanging your clothes outside on the washing line. That's no joke. So there was this thing that the washing line the clothes have to be put up in order, like nicely displayed, so other people, when they're looking into your garden, that they're looking, now I look, I'm thinking, who looks into someone's garden and thinks, oh, their washing line looks really good, they've really displayed their clothes nicely?
You do. You look at all on
No, I don't.
See what they're doing.
Shut up.
I'm only joking.
Shut up. But those are the kind of things that would. So it's not like, oh, you know what, she's struggling in this subject, let's kind of get her support or anything. Is always to do. So yes, it would have been make sure I cook clean. I know all the, the stuff around the house and the kids. I make my husband happy.
Yeah.
Do I make?
Yeah.
You don't look happy today. Jesus.
I'm good.
Yeah. So that was. What was the question you asked? The role as a wife. As
a wife, what did you see?
And to me, that's all it was. It was like, okay, that's what I've got to do. And I know I just wanted to make sure I focused on my kids because I didn't have that.
So basically, all you looked at more was when you looked at your parents, it wasn't their relationship with each other. It was how they made you feel. And you thought, when I'm a parent, I'm going to be either the things that they're doing right, I'll take that on board, or the things that they're doing wrong, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I can give to my kids what I wish I had.
Yeah.
But you didn't look at them and going, you know what?
Them
I love them two together, or I love or I hate what they're doing here. You just thought that was...
No. And then you just like, I was thinking like the other day, just with like reading stuff and seeing how things have changed and people, it's so good to see that they already are thinking about their future. It's not just the romance part. I hope not, because marriage is a big... I still
think it's the same.
Do you?
Yeah. I just think that you think that it's changed. I think they have a bit more of... They don't want to... They give themselves a bit more time of what home we're going to have together, or we're going to work on our careers a little bit more, and then we might wait 4 or 5 years or a little bit longer before we have kids, that kind of subjects and things like that. But I don't think they even, because I don't think people talk about it, and people still don't understand marriage. No. And I just don't think that they discuss that, hey, those things are all part of marriage.
Yeah.
They're all important things. I'm not saying they aren't. But, when things go, when we have that bad day and you yell at me and you shout and you take it out on me and it's not, or when the kids are up all night and you've had to look after them, but I've done that a 9-hour shift and I'm like, tired and I can't help you out.
Yeah.
Or when something breaks, again, it's like if the shelf falls down, and guess what? I tell you right now, I don't know how to fix that. I'm not. I didn't grow up thinking I want to be. There's women out there who can fix those things. Just like like a man can't assume that. Oh, but I thought you'll be able to cook for me. My mum does it. No, sorry, I never learned how to cook. And it's not that there's something bad with this person. It's just that all I'm saying is, stereotypically, we just still assume men will be able to handle all this or do this, or they should know how to do this.
It's taken me a long time.
And women should know all this and be able to do that, which isn't the case.
It's taken me a long time with that, because there'll be times where you stick up something and you have to make 1,000 holes.
And I don't want to stick it up.
Just like that,
like
for
that?
instance.
I didn't stick that up. That was her job.
Why did that just fall now out of all times?
That was her job.
Anyway, so he'd make like 1,000,000 holes, and now we can laugh it off because we know each other so well. Like, you know, before we used to take it personally, you'd take it personally. Oh my God,
because I used to.
I'm not great at everything.
No, but that's the thing. There's some men who have this ego and arrogance that they need to be known as they're good at everything. These kind of jobs, they're thinking, well, it's a man's job. He should be able to fix this and do this. There's one thing of, you know, and that's why, for me, is even if you think like there's other guys that do it, I'm happy to say I don't want to be the expert at fixing things. It's not something I want to do. I don't care. It doesn't make me happy.
Yeah.
And I don't got nothing to prove. It doesn't make you a bad man. Just like I said, if a woman doesn't know how to cook, or a woman doesn't know how to do other things that stereotypically men would assume that that's their job or their role, like you were saying, that you was taught to cook or put the washing up. Can you imagine me turning around and going, excuse me, you didn't put the washing up right? You know what? My mum used to do all right. And, you know, neighbours are looking. How disgusting my boxes have been on show, you know, with the holes in them. You know, that kind of stuff. You can't just assume that these are the roles. And that's the thing. There's men who are really good at cooking and they cook every evening. And there's women who very much this day and age, their career is like, you know, they're doing something that's, you know, and there's men looking after the kids. And and there's women out there who like pumping iron and building their bodies, and they got more strength than a man has.
I think that's amazing, though. It's really good.
And you can't turn around and go, God, I feel like, well, God, I love the way that shelf went up. Yeah. I don't want to tell them that my wife's put it up because that's embarrassing for me. No, my wife done it. She's great at this. Me, it would have dropped.
But it doesn't drop anymore, though. I think.
But no, that's everything. What you was. You would have basically assumed that.
You knew.
Why aren't you doing that? That's a man's job. And I just go, but your jobs ain't women's jobs. And he was like going, but you should be able to. Other men would be, because majority of the time when someone comes in, it's a man who's fixing these things.
Yeah.
You don't see a woman, do you?
I don't think I ever said that you should be able to. Ever. Oh, you can't put up a shelf. I'd laugh it off, and you didn't like that, but you've really gotten better at it because now you've got.
I couldn't stand
YouTube everything, but you do everything yourself. But whereas before, I used to laugh it off. I think you used to take it personally.
No, because I was like going, if you want a expert job done, then call an expert. Doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. I'm not an expert, and nor am I trying to prove to be.
Yeah.
But I think with marriage is I don't care if you got degrees. I don't care if you've been married about 16 times. Come on, you know what I mean? You should have understood what marriage is by that time. You're not going to be with the same partner.
No, you don't.
It doesn't matter how much you research. No, you don't. You know, so many couples.
Even with us doing this, I feel like we learn so much about each other, and we grow. You know, each and every day. It's a thing that is inevitable. You continue on doing it, isn't it?
It's basically just knowing, and I think I mentioned to you before, and even the viewers now, I would like viewers, listeners, whatever it might be, wherever you're watching, ask yourself this question. Did anyone ever ask you, obviously people asked nearly, you know, what kind of wedding you want? What kind of partner do you hope to be with? You know what I mean? And it's normally to do with description. Like you said, nowadays it's probably...
I think it's a bit more than...
People will be to the extreme of, I want them to make this much money, work in this sort of job, and have this car, from this upbringing, this, that and the other, dress like this, look like this, moustache like this. You know,
it's got to make me laugh. I think it's a bit too much.
So
isn't it?
it's like this perfect person that they're wishing. I mean, you might as well get about 10 people together, you know, to like be with.
Bit of a joke.
Fair plays if you can find them, honestly. But it's that. But at one point, it would have just gone tall, dark, handsome. Oh, she's got to be beautiful and smart. You know, that simple. It would have been 2 or 3 things that you say, something like that.
Yeah. I think for me, it was always just someone I know is loving, caring. Yes.
She wanted someone who's tall and light coloured and handsome, and she got me. And you know, because you always tell me, oh my God, that's the kind of guy I wanted.
So we all think at that age that we know what we want, and it is what tall, dark, handsome. But it was always
dark.
Tall, dark, handsome? No, for me it was the opposite. Tall, maybe, yeah, fair skin. But yeah, it was more to do with having a heart, kind, and that's what I saw in you, which was more important than the rest of it.
Cool.
So don't.
Okay.
Yeah. But
anyway.
Yeah, go on. What was you going to say?
So I was going to basically ask, like, you know, obviously people ask those questions, and more or less many people have a idea. I mean, when it comes to weddings, I think it's more, again, I might be being stereotypical, but that's all I knew from me growing up. So before people start attacking me, used to be more girls going, I want a wedding like this, even with you, kind of thing. And as a guy, I didn't think about my wedding or stuff like that. But anyway, it's not where I'm going. All I'm saying is, do people actually ask their children or their nieces, nephews, or their friends, what kind of marriage do you want? What kind of relationship do you want with your partner? And the thing is, or kids or anyone turn around and saying, you know, asking their parents or anyone, being able to talk to them and saying, what is marriage? Or what? Even now, well, I'm asking the people who are single, ask yourself that question. Has anyone asked you that question? And if not, ask yourself it now. What is marriage to you? What do you see marriage to be? Because you might have an idea or understanding of what you see as marriage, but you might end up being with a person who hasn't asked, no one's asked them that question, hasn't got a clue. And then you, or if you are married, doesn't matter if it's 10, 20, 30 years and you've got kids and all that, both partners just write down, what is marriage to you? What is the meaning of marriage to you? And what should, you know what I mean, what a relationship should be like. And then see, are you being that person in that marriage? And is your partner being that person in that marriage?
Yeah.
And see what their list is. Because you might find that it's like, there might be things that you've got, you know, in common that you both would like, but you've not worked towards, or you couldn't say. Or there are things on there that are totally different. Then you go, okay, how can we work to implement these two things in our relationship?
Yeah.
But do people know what marriage is? That's the thing. Obviously, forget about people before they go in it, but do people know what marriage is when they're in it?
Yeah.
Because I think people most of the time are, like you said, distracted.
Yeah.
Not distracted, not purposely, but their focus is on,
kids.
Back in the days, it was kids.
Yeah.
And then
family, everything that goes on around.
What parents and everyone keeps on going.
Until you realise, oh God, it's been like 2 weeks we haven't spent time together. But it's just that
was
time.
With us. Yeah. I don't think that's everyone.
The same.
And the thing is, I think loads of people, like this is what parents do. When you get married, you could be 20, 30, 40, and I'm not saying age or anything like that. Parents, uncles, aunts, everyone, you ain't married yet. It's when you get married. You know there's people out there in their 30s who turn around and just being this stigma of going, you ain't married yet. What's wrong with you? Kind of thing. Doesn't matter, you know, if you know, with a partner. But once you get married, you know, then when you haven't got kids yet, that's the next thing.
Yeah.
But no one turns around and goes, so how's your marriage? You know, how are you guys working on yourself?
No.
You know, what is important in your marriage? You know, how do you like make it work? How do you like make it great? I'm only asking because mine wasn't great, or I didn't have a clue and I just went in there and we've had to make things happen, or they didn't happen, or we still don't have a relationship. People don't talk about marriage.
No, they don't.
Why?
They come when they're having problems to talk about the problems that they're having in their marriage, or
yeah,
you know,
or,
we've done
this,
we've gone here, we've done this, we've done that. These are great things.
Yeah.
But it's like, how is marriage? What is marriage? I remember when.
I mean, I was going to say, I understand the stigma behind sex. You know what I mean? Have you got a good sex life? It's like, I can understand. I mean, if you got a good friend or a good family member that you can talk to openly and have that communication because you've got a great relationship, and you go, you got a good sex life. Well, nah. You know what I mean? Why not? Oh, well, too busy, this, that, and the other, kids, whatever it might be. Like, no, you need that intimacy or whatever. I can still understand, you know, with it's quite a taboo subject in Indian, English, whatever community. It's all over. People will tell you it's not just just Indians can't talk about it, but it's such a taboo subject of that, you know, people can't talk about sexual relationships, or even with their partner. People can't talk with their partner who they actually sleep with about sex. But I mean, why can't people talk about marriage? Why is that so difficult?
For us, I think we ask that question now. I think marriage, I wish we, you know, where we are now.
Yeah.
we were like that. Not at the very beginning, but we kind of fizzled into where we are now.
Yeah, because I think
10,
beginning is you have that, like people say, the honeymoon period. Like you're just excited to see each other, be with each other, and sometimes people understand that also happens when kids come along, or not even when kids come along. You're about 18 months or 2 years into, could be for some people even earlier. Your relationship or the way your relationship was, it changes. It can't still be on that side. And if you got that, then fantastic.
I wish that's something we could have done. Like, if we could improve anything, is not putting our relationship. We didn't put it to the side. We always wanted to, have to make time for each other, spend time together. But it wasn't where we are at the moment. But I wish that could have been one thing. Yeah, would have been great for us. Yeah. But we focused so much more on the children.
Yeah.
So what we did have kind of fizzled out, and we tried to work on it each time for each other on each. But I wish that was the case though, where we are now, because everything about us where we are is what I probably, if someone asked me now, what would you want in marriage, is what I would want in marriage now. If I could, even if I could turn back time and be that 20-year-old, what is marriage? This is what marriage is. You know what I mean? It's everything. He's my best friend. I can go to him about anything. I can be emotional. He's my support. We grow together. He encourages me, pushes me. There's so much more, and we've grown so much together.
I mean, there's things that we couldn't probably talk to our best friends and our parents or siblings and stuff like that we can openly talk, and which is, I don't know if that is the case with many people. Many people can talk to their friends or their partner or go home and but they can't talk to their other people. About anything, but they can't talk to their partner.
What stage were we in when we starting to be that? And we were really close anyway. That's what drew me to you, because I felt like I could straight away. I felt like you were the first person I could ever open up to about things, really open up to. But when was it the first time we kind of felt like safe between each other? We could talk about anything, because we've been like that for a long while.
I don't know, because again, like you said, like majority of people in marriages, your mind is always on how to be a good parent. That. And
this is what I advise a lot of.
We listen more to our children, or be there for our children, be present. What do they need and what do they want? You don't do that. You more or less going, we're on the same team, and this is our job and this is our role. It's a horrible way of putting it, but this is our project that we're working on together, and we're gonna make this great. Because they need us and they don't understand us, and we brought them and they deserve to have our attention, our love, us listening, us playing with them, us understanding them,
full focus,
feeding them, and making sure that they have everything that they need. But you just more or less going, but what about me? Or what about me? You don't look at it. You're going, because you look at your parents.
You see, like you said, what is a relationship? That's what marriage, and that's what you look back and think that's what it is, isn't it? You're bringing up your kids.
That's it. Now you've had them, and that's your job and that's your responsibility.
Yeah, but really, is it? No, it's not.
And that's why many people don't work on their own personal self, because they feel like that they're being selfish, and they don't work on like their own growth, because again, unless you've already defined those roles. My job is to work, and I need to get promoted and make that extra money because I'm doing it for you lot. And then like the husband and the wife who's at home is like more or less going, well, I'm doing all this for the kids because I need to do this, and and it's continuous. But like I said, imagine. You only realise what your relationship with your partner is like is once your kids leave home. And that's why majority of parents try to hold on to their kids as long as possible. And not only that, if they're not holding on to them as long as possible and trying to keep them there, at least one, if not all of them, then they want them to keep them close.
Yeah.
And if they're not keeping them close, then it's like the next thing, which everyone does, is when you're going to have grandkids. When you're going to have kids. So I've got grandkids. So now I've got something else to focus on. But imagine when your kids leave the nest and they go and do their own things, have a look how you communicate with your partner. Have a look what you've got together.
Such a turning point.
Then you'll find out.
It's been such a turning point for us, hasn't it? Because it was all about the kids, even up to the age that they were, and they were old enough. They're adults now, and it's still all about them.
Don't get me wrong, I don't regret any one bit of like, you know, being as a, you know,
But
anyone asks me, I'll just say I enjoyed being a father, and I still am, and you know, I did the best that I could, and you did the best that you could. But guess what? I don't think I was a great husband.
You just don't realise that. So you don't see that side. You neglect each other.
Yeah.
And you don't realise you're doing it. But the thing is, I feel like we're saying that as if we really, really have neglected each other. We've really been there for each other.
No.
We have
supported each other, but in a different way, kind of thing.
And we made
time together. Yeah, we did have time together. But you just saying where we are now.
Yeah.
Which is so much better place. I mean, compared to most, I would say we did whenever we could, because we used to put our children to sleep at 7:30, and then we would spend time together. So we did have time together. We did listen. But again, having the, you know, and this isn't like slagging off our parents or anyone else or everyone else who's been doing it. Parents used to go to work and they used to be busy. And like I said, their relationship, they used to like bring home you know, there's the food, you got the roof over your head. And we set those roles for ourselves. Your role and your job is, and not I set it for you. You assigned yourself to it. I assigned myself to this. And we're fulfilling those roles. That's what couples do. But what about us?
It's us.
And it's not just, you know, like the communication side, which I don't think we communicated great, even though we talked quite a lot about everything.
It's also understanding ourselves as well.
It was understanding ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's also the intimacy, but is it like, you know, not just, you know, physical, but emotional, spiritual, all those kind of connections kind of thing. You know, we had it, but it could have been a lot more. Yeah, and it was more or less, and it wasn't because I didn't want to be with you and you didn't want to be with me. It was more or less, guess what? It was our own understanding of ourselves. We didn't know us.
And that's one thing.
We didn't even know what we wanted.
I know. It's taken this long to understand ourselves as well. All the things that have happened in the past and why they've happened, you know. And I'm grateful that they have happened as well, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have grown.
Even the things that you thought or assumed
were the worst possible. Yeah, that were unbearable, that have happened, because if they didn't, we wouldn't be where we are today. I'm so grateful for that. And I was just thinking about, again, I know I say this a lot, but comparing our lives to other people, like, it has been more challenging, I'd say, because of the circumstances that we've had to deal with. And it's not been like, just at the beginning, it's been an ongoing thing. But to still have made it where we are, I think is unreal. No, I'm being serious, Steve, when I say this. Like, we have been through such challenging things in our life. That I
one day that we will open up and say, kind of thing. How
on earth have we got here, and how on earth are we more stronger than we have ever been before? Like, we've been strong and we've fought for each other, but how on earth? Because I see people who just leave relationships after 15, 20 odd years, and you think,
But again, we don't know what their circumstances
No, I get
so,
that.
You know,
I get that.
Things.
But we not only did we not have support.
We didn't have no support. Yeah.
We didn't. And I think the main thing here, I think why we have, you know, made it through is because we didn't go around speaking to other people about our, you know, like family members. Maybe we did at the beginning, very, very beginning, but we didn't. Whatever.
I think we both wish we had people that we could talk to.
Maybe, but now I'm thinking,
I'm glad it was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, because I know what I was like then. I am not the person I am today.
And I think we might have been influenced by other people.
That's
like going, why do you want to be in this relationship for? Oh my God, like that.
Having that.
And then you go, okay.
So,
which is what happens in most people's lives.
Yeah, in that sense. So, but just going back to it. From the very beginning, I remember when I left home, I married you, and this thought came to me just not long ago, and it did make me think, you know, made me feel weird. But when I left home, obviously I had not one single person, coming from such a big family, not one single person who stood by me, stood up for me, or wanted to hear my side. Nothing at all. And in fact, I used to hear a lot of really horrible stuff. Like, I remember that one thing that was said to me, which is up until now, if you can imagine, it stayed with me. What was the words? something about you made your bed, you lay in it, or your grave, or something like that. Was it your?
Would have been.
What was? How was
I
it?
think it was.
You think this is all gonna? You know,
made your bed. You lie in it.
Lie in it. That's it. That's it. Or something like that. So it's more like that. That itself was a fear, because when things weren't looking all how they were to begin with, I used to think, shit, is this what they mean? Like, oh my God, this is not going to last. Of course, it's not going to last. This is not what I thought it was going to be.
You know. Fun and what is it like?
Yeah. And being at that age, so naive and in my 20s, you think completely differently, don't you? Yeah. And that was said, and I was like, oh my God, have I made the wrong choices? This isn't gonna last forever. What have I done? Was this that?
Yeah, you think this fun times and enjoyment's gonna last and happiness? You watch.
That was a battle.
So there was a lot of seeds put into the head of. This isn't going to last. This is like, you think this is like a fairy tale, happy story, and it's not going to be, and you're going to regret it. It's going to be the biggest mistake. It was all these kind of stuff.
I heard a lot of horrible things, and now, you know what, I can actually stand up straight and proudly say, well, it lasted, didn't it? I've done 25 years, and we are the best we've ever been. In fact, we're... the day that I left, I knew what I felt for this man, but now God is, I can't even describe what I feel like. So it's like all those challenges as a teenager, adult, 20 years onwards, the things that had occurred constantly throughout
what people
us.
said, what people did,
does
how
affect
they acted,
does affect,
because
if I can't remember it until now.
Everyone's got their old childhood insecurities and traumas and stuff like that. But then when you trying to create a new life where you're hoping that you had that support, it wasn't like you didn't want it, and you're hoping that those people would speak to you, understand you, be there for you, and they all decided and chose not to. And then on top of that, then they still don't want you to be happy, so that they say all these things, more or less cursing you, hoping things don't work out for you, and making you feel crap, that oh my God, this is going to be the worst decision you ever made. And then you have all that, and then you continuously, without any help and support, creating a family in the way that you want to, and trying to work on a relationship that you don't even understand, kind of thing, because you didn't know nothing about, like I said, about majority of people don't know what marriages should be like and how they should be like.
And when things don't continue on being the same when you met each other, well, it is about each other, isn't it, at the beginning? And this is what
people are saying. And then to the point where you're just going, you know what, okay, with all that, if I can be where I am now, imagine all those people who have got that support, that love, and all those like encouragement, and that love from the like the people that matter, parents, siblings, friends, whatever it might be, that just there going, we got you.
Yeah.
Imagine they shouldn't be that everything should be okay. You should be able to speak to them. You couldn't, but yeah, if you could do it, then it's that encouragement.
Yeah.
Well, should say we done it.
Let's say things happen for a reason.
But things happen for a reason.
Everything does. So yeah, I'm just quite proud. But it is that it's more, now it's not how it used to be. In a relationship, people want a lot more. They want to be each other's support. They want to...
But again, they do want that. But again, when it comes to encouragement and support, is it just with the careers and things like that? Or is it... What I'm saying is just hope that people are, or, couples, when they want to get into a marriage especially, that they... It's like that thing that I said. I don't know if you guys have remember a quote, depending on what age you are and which country you're from, when people used to have these banners and signs on their cars, or the advertisement, a dog is for life, not just for Christmas. Right? How come people don't ever say a marriage is for life, not just for a wedding, or a marriage is for life, not just to please other people? You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, you can easily have a wedding and everyone's there to, they're all happy when you're going to get married. Why can't people just openly just going, and I'm not saying you got to talk about, I don't understand marriage, I don't understand, my relationship. You don't have to talk about someone else. Talk to each other. What is it? What isn't working, and why isn't it working?
Yeah.
But I think people only realise till it's too late that something's missing. And like I said, because life is full of distractions. You're distracted with the work you do. You're distracted, raising your kids. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. These things that have to be done, they're all part of your life.
Yeah.
And, they're important parts of your life. You don't make the money, you ain't going to be able to support your family. You got to be there for your children no matter what. But then you got your extended family members. You got everything else that's happening. But again, what you stop looking, you like look at it. But we're one.
Time just passes, and we're still
passes,
just
but
one.
We're one. You got my back, I got my back. But you got my back and I got your back to deal with work, family members, kids, home. But we haven't got our back on each other. It's everyone looks at how, when I do get married, I'm going to be working here, or this is the career that I hope to take. And when we have kids, we might raise them like this. Okay, and I do want to go and see my parents on the weekends, or I am going to go and see this is my best friend, and I'm going to go for a drink with them. But they don't ever look at it and they're going, what about us? How are we going to grow and evolve our relationship? But because it will get, just like everything else, it's like being in a job where you're doing 9 to 5 and you're just doing enough to get paid, but you don't like the job, but you can't wait till the day you retire, but you don't want to go for a promotion or leave that job either. You only realize, that you've got to do something is when you lose that job. Or once you do get that pension, then all of a sudden you're going, what the heck do I do with my life? I haven't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
That's all I knew and all I did. And that's what ends up happening with couples who've got children, and they realise once the kids leave home or have their own life, that there's nothing between us. And now all of a sudden they haven't got a clue of who to ask, because they don't talk about marriage either.
Yeah.
They just assume people, they seem like they're all right. But everyone's living this like zombie life of just going, wake up in the morning, turn up, I'm doing this is my role, that's your role. And then they just go to sleep, and then they're playing that, just like doing that job for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
it becomes
or just like thinking of,
we're in the house and we've got these jobs and these roles.
Yeah.
But what about when those parents that you go and see on the weekends so often, and I'm not being bad and horrible, everyone's going to pass away, we're going to pass away. It's like, it's realistic, and even that, deaf people don't want to talk about death. They're, can't talk about sex, can't talk about death, can't talk about marriage, can't talk about anything. But, but we could complain about our life being shit. We can moan as much as we want to anyone again and again, and expect people to know the answers.
Yeah.
But that's where we're trying to relate. Oh, mine's shit too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then we're cool. No, ours isn't shit, and talk about how you want to grow. And if you got people around you, it doesn't matter if it is parents, siblings, friends, that you can talk about marriage and saying what works for you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help each other. Maybe you can help going, that's a great network. Like, I like what you lot do. I like that you lot go away on weekends together. Or I like that you lot have that walk together. Like, we have a walk every evening together.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you got to do it together. You can take your kids with you. That's still part of something, and it's that togetherness. For us, it's also been another different thing, is there's many couples that spend hardly no time together because they're busy with work and other commitments and stuff like that. And that's, they'd rather go to the gym, and then they got probably about half an hour with their partner where they're eating, how your day been, love? Yeah, if they do ask, some of them. And, or the weekend where they might spend some time together whilst they're shopping together or whatever. Me and you do everything together. Normally you can't even put people in the big brother house as much as we've been together without them wanting to throttle each other. It's everything.
But the thing is, we really enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, sometimes.
I know there's some that you don't. When you want to escape, is when you want to watch football. And I'm like, just go. I don't care. Get out with your friends. Do what you got to do.
Like that with me, because I'm not one of those who cares about going out and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me, and I'm happy at home. She's more or less going, go out. I don't want to go out though. What's wrong with people are calling you? Just go. I want to stay home.
Yeah.
You go.
But we do everything together.
We work together, we look after the kids together, everywhere we eat or drink, we go together, we go for walks together.
We do. It is.
Yeah, other people can't probably do that. I need that break. And the thing is, when we do have a break, we more or less are going, like, if I achieve something, or, I succeed at something, you're the same, the first person I want to call her, make sure that she knows it's like you. And then if there's something bad, the first person I want to speak to is you. But if you go away, it just takes a while before you're going, damn, feels more empty, like she's not here kind of thing, not, oh God, she hasn't cooked, or I cook myself. It's not those things. Oh, like you'll get like guys going, oh, he probably misses her because he hasn't got no food. I know how to cook, and not as great as her, but I could look after my kids. Trust me, I've learnt all that kind of stuff. My mum taught me well when I was younger, so I, give her the credit. And so I could do all those kind of things. And but it's when you still go, it's your presence that's missing. Like going, oh my God, it's not the same. And I think many people feel like that when, like I said, their kids or their other family members or people, if they want to go and see them on the weekend, they're not available, and going, damn, shit, I've got to spend some time with this person. Now what do we do? What are we going to do?
I think for me, it's without me even speaking, you know what I'm feeling, or you know there's something up, and it's vice versa. I know the same with you as well. Like, sometimes I even know what you're thinking, like what you want to eat and stuff. I think that's amazing.
As other people got that craziness. Sometimes I'll text her from somewhere, and I used to do this in the police force. When I was in the police force,
so often
I used to text her just randomly and going, do you want to go and eat this now, or would you like to watch this, or something or the other? Or I was thinking about, it could be one of our kids or something, and she's actually thinking this.
I'm actually texting you the same thing. Should I pick up this that you're thinking? Or I remember the one time you wanted something, and I was already out, and I was about to pick it up, but I thought, let me just double check. And you were just texting me. You just text me. I was like, oh my God, I'm standing here, and that's just something simple.
Or even, and to be honest, like, there's been a time where I've texted my daughter while she's been in the car with you, and she's basically gone, oh my gosh, Mum, like, you've having this conversation with her, and I've texted my daughter to say, oh, when you doing this, can you tell your mum to whatever it might be? And she's like going, what the heck?
Yeah, it's quite scary.
It's like, how the heck is he thinking about this over there when I'm with you and you're having this conversation with me? Spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky.
So it's like, I like the fact that I don't have to say anything to you. You already know, and I'd know what you're feeling or what's going on in your head.
I already know if I'm going to be in the doghouse before I'm even in the doghouse. It's like, Doctor Strange, he already knows the million situations that are going to, like, that one thing that's going to be, like, you could get through out the, like, 1,400 million, whatever, like,
why do you always
possibilities.
How come it's always
just that one that is going to be okay?
How come it's always the men that are in the doghouse? Because us women don't make these stupid mistakes.
Because if we say women are going to be in the doghouse, then they're going to say, the woman's going to turn around and say, so you're calling me a kutti?
Okay.
And you're going, so you can't say that, but a man can be a kutta.
Okay.
See, that's not nicely put in. A woman can never be a kutti. A man can be a kutta, though.
Okay.
Am I right?
So, is there anything that you'd
that's
say?
That's why we've been polite. We've been polite.
No, it's not being polite, because for a fact that I don't do anything.
If we turn around and go, we will put you in the nice pussycat basket.
Okay, stop. Okay? Forget all that nonsense. Forget it, because do I ever make mistakes?
Yes.
I do.
We all do.
With us. So do I ever do something that irritates you and pees you
sometimes
off?
I was going to say, when you sometimes have a joke in the banter that, the normal stereotypical thing that men say, you have a laugh about it. But many times when the lads or the guys are saying it, I always say, I do normally think, it's not like that.
No.
So I was like going, oh my God, if they say, oh God, my wife will never cook, she'll say this, or she'll never do this for me, or she'll never do that, or she'll be like this. I just like looking at it and going, to be honest, she would do this, or she wouldn't have a problem with that. And, but you still have that little, you know where they're coming from, because everyone's having this, like, you've got the people who always had that stereotypical men are like this, women are like this, and everyone laughs about it, don't they?
So you join in and laughing and pretend that your wife's like that?
You laugh and you're just like going, fair play, is it?
But my wife's nothing like that.
Is it still happening? Is people still like this kind of thing?
When will the day be that men ever turn around and say, oh my God, my partner's amazing, we have such a giggle together, we have instead of having that kind of banter that,
my partner is amazing and we have a great giggle together, and you know what, we have so much fun together. There you go.
Other people can join in and have those.
People are listening.
No, I mean, like, when you sit at a table, because it's always the men who get together.
No, because you're going to turn around and go, my wife's amazing and she's fantastic, and you know what, we have the best time together, and they look at you and going, bastard. Or he's full of shit. This guy's got mental health issues. You know, he's just trying to portray something that he's not. His wife told him to say that. They won't believe you anyway. Yeah, you cannot say it with guys openly, and you should be able to. You should be able to relationship going, honestly, mate, you know what? My wife is genuinely like this. I'm not saying yours has to be. I mean, if you're happy with your relationship, so, you know, great. But it isn't. Yeah, and this is the thing. It's about communicate. If you can't communicate, and it's not just communicating with your partner, but truthfully, honestly, many friends, certainly men, women, I'm not, you know, I can't say for women, men can't communicate their own sort of relationships and life and thinking confidently with another guy. It's like they have to joke and take the piss and stuff like that, but they can't. And I mentioned that before.
Us women would have a laugh and have a banter. I mean, I would turn around and say, God, after 25 years, this man, I just had to tell him the other day, don't even wash dishes. I'll do them. In a nice way, I'll do them. Just leave the dishes. It doesn't matter how many times you tell you. We'll have laughs like that, toilet seat, this, that, that. But I know for a fact we would be like, oh, God.
I would rather have a friend as a woman. To be honest, because I think every man should have a friend who's a woman that their wife can actually trust, you know, that, oh, there's nothing wrong, that they can talk to. Because I do believe, and I'm not saying there's got to be men out there. I mean, I would happily listen to, like, you know, I've not experienced guys that you can sit there and you're going, mate, you know what? My partner's amazing. I'm not going to lie about it. I love what she does, this, that, and the other, without it becoming a joke. Yeah, you're the only one. When normally they're all like this. No, going fair place.
I know.
How did that, you know, your relationship be like that? That's good. Lucky you, or you know, fully be that kind of thing.
I know us. When we get together with women, I have been like that. It's always been like the great things about us, and women can do that. So it's a shame that you guys can't.
So I am hoping, whilst doing these podcasts and doing, like, you know, videos and stuff like that, that we do come across, you know, I do come across guys. I think, like I said before, it's about creating the tribe and circle of the kind of people that you love to, like the kind of person you want to be and the kind of people that you would like to be around. And I'm not saying that they have to think like me and be like me, but about growth. Growth in their relationship with their partner, growth as parents, growth as in friends, communicate, be able to be open, talk about each other, like, you know, talk about, not just talk about mental health, but knowing that, you know, if I want to talk about that I'm going through a hard time, that this person won't take the joke and make that they'll take me seriously.
Yeah.
And just like, might not be able to even say, you know, they might not know where I'm coming from, but they'll listen. And they might just say, you know what, honestly, I think just get some help. But I'm here if you need to talk to me.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And I'm sure that there is many guys out there who are capable and good, who are not just like, you know, professionals, I mean, that want that too. I want a good guys out there who are listening to this podcast going, I want a great relationship with my wife. And you know what? We have neglected each other, or we haven't been there. We are there, but we could be better.
You want meaningful relationships that you can take something away from it each time you feel uplifted and good, not going there and sobbing. And even if it is a joke that you're, you know, having that banter about your wife and stuff, it's not something you can go away and it's a negative thing, to be honest, isn't it?
You more or less trying to not, and this one, you're trying to not look, it's a distraction again, distraction, and then you're going back to that life and going, you know, what if I just told them that, you know? And it's not about slagging off your wife. I mean, you could just turn around and say, mate, guess what, you know what, I just wish I had a better relationship with my wife. That's not slagging her off. You're not saying she's wrong, you know. There might be something that I'm not doing right, but I would like that. I don't know, what's your relationship like? Well, to be honest, mate, you know what? Mine is really good. So what do you like to do differently? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But you don't. You, like you said, you go there and then you go back and you're going, God, they might have, you know, I don't think they're going, or they can relate. Because we had this banter, it means they're going through the same stuff. Therefore, this is how it is. Yeah. It isn't.
Yeah.
And I think more and more, if people openly talk about relationships or what they want, and not only that, if there's people out here who are married, even if their kids are younger or not, they haven't got kids yet, or hoping to be married one day, ask yourself this: what if you might want your kids in your life forever? Fair enough, if that's how you see it. Ask yourself this: what if that one day comes when your kids are 18, 20, 25, 30, and they decide that they're going to leave home or move abroad? They might marry someone who's got a career that is, you can't turn around and go, well, you tell your husband he can't go, or tell your wife.
We've got a lot of friends who are at the gym one had moved to Australia, and that was a big thing for them, the couple. One had gone to Sydney, Australia, the other one had gone to Canada.
But I know of parents who tell their own kids to tell their partners, tell them not to take that job.
Yeah.
You know, my husband or my wife's got a job in Australia, China, wherever it might be, tell them not to go. Everyone's here. What they're going to do there, it's not going to, just because you're not going, or you're afraid, or you're thinking about other things, it doesn't mean it's not going to work. And it might, they need it for their relationship. It's their relationship.
Could get a lot better as well.
Exactly.
Can you imagine all the beautiful things that could come out of that.
And that's growth. And you're supporting and encouraging. You don't need that. You need parents to turn around and go, well done. You go there, you support this, but your partner. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't work, you can always, I'm sure you'll be able to take care of each other and yourselves.
Yeah.
You ain't kids. Go out there and live. You got one life. Be like that. But then you got to ask yourself one question. If your kids do decide, because you don't know who they're going to marry and what their future is going to be like, and they choose that, I'm going to go abroad, I'm going to go trekking, I'm going to live somewhere else, or my partner is, and I'm going to go with them. And if you've only got one kid or two, whatever, now what's your relationship like? And if you're already going, well, I haven't thought about that, or I don't know, or you know what I mean, it is what it is. You got to already work on it, because then you're starting something with somebody that, even though you've lived with them for such a long time, it's like sharing a house with roommates. You like share, you see each other and you go, hey, you're right, you use the same kitchen and all that if you're at uni, but you're not intimate. There's no, at the end of the day, if they leave or not leave, you're going, oh god, there's a roommate gone, I might have to pay extra for the rent kind of thing. But there's nothing. You're just sharing a house or sharing a room together. So ask yourself, when these people, if they leave, or your parents or family or other people aren't there, what is it that you got with each other?
People just don't have time to think like that, or think about those things, do they?
Maybe think.
And that is something they should do, because just imagine, like, oh my god, like now that our kids have gone and we weren't the way we are, how would things be for us?
I mean, because many times, if like you see like couples, a partner might pass away and the only thing that they'll look at and miss is going, damn, there was an extra wage coming here to help me look after the kids, or they could talk to the kids. It normally ends up being, oh, they had that relationship with the kids, they could talk to them, now I've got to do something because they did that, now I've got to do it. Or they like look at it and going, that person used to cook for me and now I've got to do it. Or that person used to work and now I've got to find a job. They don't turn around. I mean, there are people, I'm not saying not all of them, but imagine going, damn, that person's gone and my life feels lonely. That person was a person that, just every day, just having them be here felt amazing. Nothing else mattered. Imagine that. Because then what, if that was to be the case, you live, it's that person you're missing for what they made you feel, not for what they did.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Many people don't look at the feeling that they get in their marriage and their relationship. They look at what the other person is doing. And sometimes what they're doing is irrelevant. Anyone can do it. You could pay someone to do it.
That's it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could pay someone to cook for me. I could pay someone to like you could pay someone to fix something for you and stuff like that. So technically, you can live by yourselves anyway. You as long as you're working and making money, you could pay people. But have you got that connection, that feeling, that with that other person?
Yeah.
And if not, why not? How are you going to make it happen?
And if you haven't, and it's far long gone, there's
you can still. It's irreversible. Sorry, it is reversible. Sorry, that but it's about understanding. It's about being aware first. It's with anything, mental health, relationships, communication. It's about being aware. Then why are we going apart for?
What's going on here?
What's going on here? What do we need to sort out?
Well.
Is it me? Yeah, if it is me, what is it? Why am I feeling like this for? Is it really that person doesn't care about me, or is it something that I'm doing?
Yeah.
And majority of the time, again, I think in relationship, we're looking at that person did that to me, or that person done that to me, and that person doesn't care. We don't look at it from, what am I bringing to the table? What am I doing?
Yeah.
What can I do differently? how can I can't make you happy, but what is it that I can do that, you know, when I come here, that you feel safe, you feel, you know, heard, loved, cared, you know what I mean? That this person truly is there for me, vice versa.
Yeah. That's where we are. We're actually at that stage, aren't we?
Yes.
I feel like we are.
Yes, I believe that we are more there now, but again, it's not, you can't get complacent and think that, oh, that's it, we're there now,
No,
and that's it. I
growing.
think it's just that it's a continuous growth.
Yeah.
Because again, then it becomes this other thing of, I want to be healthy, mentally healthy, I want to be physically healthy, because I want a future with my partner, and not only that, I want to be there for them. It's not just, oh God, I want them to be healthy so they're there for me kind of thing, you know. I want to be there for them because I don't want them to be on this journey by themselves, and I don't want my kids to be looking after their mum and taking them. I want to be doing that, you know, not doing that, but we want to be doing that together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hoping that, you know, every single thing that we do, that we've got each other. It's not their job. I want them to focus on their relationship, their marriage, their family, their life, and then raise the kids in that same way. Guys, you know, what is marriage?
That's the thing, when you ask that question, what is marriage, people don't genuinely ask it, because you just go in it head on heels, like kind of thing. And that's with life, with everything. You know what I mean? If you ask someone now, you've got to be at a certain point in life. I don't know. I feel like it kind of, when you start thinking about those kind of things, because everything just seems perfect. I think you don't see anything wrong. I mean, even when we got married, you know, we had the children, or even before the children, didn't think that.
No.
You know, we thought we were fine. Everything's great.
Yeah.
And it was great. Even with the kids, we didn't think, oh my God.
No.
You don't think about it then.
No.
You just carry on with life.
Trust, it was.
We had a
really good time, and we loved being parents and looking after the kids. We were
so energetic and did so much with them. And we had such an amazing relationship together then as well. Yeah. We did so much.
It's just that it grew.
And I think that's what it is, though, isn't it?
There were like dips of fighting for each other's love and attention, because at times you felt like, but again, I think that was
only now realize what that was
personal.
all about. Yeah,
that was personal due to, you know, sort of like, you know, when you're younger, how you felt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you start understanding yourself and you reflect, so it's reflect, then all of a sudden you realize that, you know what, it wasn't the other person who was making me feel in a certain way. I felt like this due to X, Y, and Z. That was happened to me before. This person had actually been there, but I was feeling triggered or feeling unconnected due to all these other things.
Yeah.
But I was there and they were there.
And that makes you closer in itself as well. You know, I keep hearing all these quotes and these things that you read places. Oh, you know what, make sure you're with someone who is, you know, is fully healed and hasn't got any baggage. Everyone's got baggage. And no one just heals like that. Sometimes people don't even know they've gone through stuff.
I think majority of the people don't understand that they've gone through stuff, or they experience it, or why they're behaving the way they have. And it's only later on when they're in their 40s or 50s and they see things, and then all of a sudden they start going, oh God, I went through that.
Yeah.
Or I was experiencing that. It doesn't matter if it's anxiety, mental health, depression, whatever it might be. People don't know at that time. That's the thing. People are unaware.
But I think
so you can't just, you know, but that's again, is this day and age more or less going,
fix yourself,
heal yourself before you get into any relationship, or you know what you're doing. But if people don't even know that they're experiencing anything or have gone through something,
they just not go,
or there's something wrong with them, they can't fix something that they don't even see that is broken, or needs fixing.
Like myself, I didn't know I had going, and same with you. We didn't know what we had.
No, and sometimes it's not something that's major. It isn't like, oh, your parents beat the crap out of you, or you was abandoned. It could just be little things, you know, that can make. Everyone deals with different circumstances that happen in their life at some point. Could be through school, could be with friends, could be with family, or just anything that put fear in them, made them feel insecure, neglected, you know, created some sort of inner trauma that they don't understand.
Yeah.
But they realise when they're older.
Yeah.
But, you know, and how do you turn around and, you know, you're not there going, God, is this going to, like, you know, you see your child go through something, you're going, if you need to talk to me because this could affect you later on in life. But Mum only fell down. Yeah, but you could, get trauma from that because you was bleeding quite badly and you was crying. Even that,
you never know.
Some people can cause trauma.
You just never know what's going to come up when. Like, whilst you're saying that, what came to me was when the girls were in their teens, and this was their now time where things were changing. They were getting a bit more like confident and being able to just say what they want to say and stuff. And I had, we had challenging moments with the girls. And I remember the one time something was said to me, and honestly, I look at it now and thinking, oh, how I felt. Poor bloody me. Like what I was going through, no one understood. And it really hurt me a lot. And it was the case of, I could never talk to you about anything. I don't, obviously being young and just say what you say. And I heard that. And to me, wanting to bring my kids up and being close to them and all of that was like my everything. And to hear that one thing that was said to me triggered me so much, and reminded me of when I first went into therapy, which to be honest, it wasn't the therapy I needed, but the thing that she said to me was, it's like for you, it was like, imagine you being in a car accident with your whole family. And I'll never forget these words. Imagine being in a car accident with your whole family and you were the only survivor. So to you, it's like everyone's just going to leave me. Like, obviously with what happened with us being together and I didn't have anyone there, anyone saying anything like that, and even me with you, how I was, that time was already me protecting myself.
Yeah.
Putting my barriers up because I thought you'd leave me. With the kids behaving the way they did and they just outspoken and said what they did, it hurt so much because it was like, geez. Yeah.
Again,
that was a trigger. You'd never think these things back in the days. Like when it happened, I didn't know. I just thought, what the hell? Why am I so emotional about what the hell's going on with me? But then to hear that, it was like, it made so much sense. And she did say to me, she was like, I'm surprised you didn't get help straight, as soon as you left home. Why didn't you get help straight away? Why did it take this many years for you to be seen? Because anyone who's been in a car accident would actually get help, and that's what I see you in. That's what I see your situation. You've been in a car accident where you were the only survivor and you've lost everyone you have known. And I was like, oh, you just don't know, do you? And then you have these kids these days, make sure you lose, drop your baggage before you get with someone. Put it this way,
even if you drop it, even if you, feel that you found yourself.
It's always there.
It doesn't go away. Yeah. It's just that you're dealing with it whilst it's there. But the thing is, you can still be triggered at the moment, and people can still be stressed and still feel down and low about other things that still make them feel the same way. And so you're not fully, everything goes away and all of a sudden everything's amazing. It's just that you learn to deal with it. Live life with that still there and understand why you're feeling what it is, whereas before you probably didn't
have a clue.
And the thing is, if you just wait into so-called, like everyone's writing nowadays, fix yourself, repair yourself before you get in a relationship, you could be waiting for a lifetime, so you might as well just give in.
Can you imagine all the things you've missed out on, the people you should have been around, and the things you've missed out just because you're fixing yourself?
What are you doing? I'm fixing myself. Yeah, okay.
And those people have drifted on, and they're just like, can't be bothered.
And people ain't gonna wait around and going, okay, when you're sorted, come back. Don't get what you're fixing and what's going on. Why not just go, look, I'm going through this and I just need you there. And if they ain't supportive and encouraging, they should still be part of your life.
Especially if
you don't want to do it alone.
A partner,
it doesn't have to be a partner.
No, it doesn't have to be a partner.
It could just be a friend or anyone, but
we're talking about a relationship. That's what kids are these days. Don't get into a relationship.
But the thing is, then what's the difference between you being in a relationship with just having a friend? That's the same thing. You're in a relationship. You're trusting them too. I mean, is it fair to put them on, like everything on this person, or are you not talk to them either?
But then I can say
that's still a relationship.
But then I can say that about myself. When I was going through everything I cut everyone off completely. I
understand that. I'm talking about when you're just saying that you don't go into a relationship until you fix yourself. What is a relationship? Does that mean you don't have friends either? And if they can understand what you're going through and they're willing to support you, then why wouldn't your partner? If everyone else can, and if you can't tell anyone, then are they the problem? Then what kind of people have you got around you that you can't trust that you feel that they can't support you and be there for you, that you feel that you need to do this by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, it's how you see it. I just feel like, yeah, people just need to be. It all comes down to communication and understanding, and having the willingness and the confidence to be able to speak about things. Certainly with people that you have in your life, and if you can't talk to people about the things that are happening in your life or things that you do want to talk about, then are they, you know, they're not the right people. You know what I mean? Then what you doing? B, you need to find them. You know what I mean? And maybe you need to find a partner who's willing to like listen and say, guess what? I've gone through all this crap in my life, and this is what I dealt with. And that person goes, it's okay. I'm here. I got it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Even if they haven't been through anything themselves. If you got that kind of person, then hey, or a friend or whatever it might be, what more do you need? That, you know, whatever you got to go through and everything, that you're not doing it alone. You got someone who believes in you and is willing to be with you regardless of the scars that you have.
Yeah.
You know? I think the scars will always be there, but it's someone who loves and finds the beauty in you regardless of the scars that you have. That's what you need. And that's what everyone needs. So anyway, marriage and relationship, we can probably go on and on about quite a lot. So, and we probably will end up doing, because it is, loads of people want encouragement and support in that. And
quite shocked with just the last podcast how much people were, you know, reaching out and speaking about things, you know. So just thought we'll speak about this, and it's gone from one conversation to another. It was about asking about marriage, what is marriage, to now.
We'll have to talk about that another time.
No, we did speak about it.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much that you could talk about it, and there's non-stop. It's never going to end, is it? So it is all about life and relationships, and getting old, and we're all going to go through it. We're just going to make the best of everything, everything that we have and everything that we've got in our life.
Learn from your mistakes.
It's our journey that we've got to improve on, and ourselves. And that was this week's podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Write down what you guys want us. Just keep on sending us the messages like you have done. I hope you guys, like I said, appreciate all the support and love that you guys have been
honestly
giving.
really, really appreciate the support.
Anyway,
see you on the next one.
Take
Bye.
care. See you soon. Bye.